The poem has been divided into 5 parts, each one chronicling the life of Imam Hussein. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Childhood. This is for the one who was named by Allah, trained under the gaze of his mother Zahra, ingrained with the haqq of Haydar-e-Karrar. This is for the one named Mujtaba. He was known as the son of Rasul, meaning he was the branch and Muhammad the root. His birth a result of combining 2 noors. The first voice that he ever heard was the Prophet's. There's no glory more than this. And for a long time in Medina, Hassan lived in bliss. The 2 prongs of Dhul Fiqar had happy early lives. Princes in this world and masters of paradise. The love of them was love of Nabi, and hatred was the same. They spent their days on their grandfather's back, but this would all soon change. Tragedy. This is for a child and the horrors he saw. This is for his mother's cheek and the mark that it bore, for how his father was dragged on the floor, for the nail that was pushed and the skin that it tore, for the blood that was left all over the door, for the cries and the cries for the child that she bore. This is for the tears, for the sound of the slap that rung in his ears, for the smoke that hung in his lungs after years, for Fadak, Saqifa, Muhsin, and Zahra. Don't mention those names because even the son of Haydar also feels pain. Imamat. This is for the one they call a Sibt. He is an Imam whether he stands or sits. He is our Imam whether he stands or sits. He sat and twice gave away all his wealth, stood and in battles bared all his strength. This is for the one who knelt before God, but stood up to tyrants. Tyrants who showed their evil with every word that they spoke, with how they treated those who were under the cloak. When Rasul said, love Hassan, they didn't take note, breaking every rule of the treaty they wrote. Yet Hassan kept our religion afloat. With just a pen, he ensured their palaces broke. Death. His skin turns yellow as the poison embeds. A river of patience, from it a liver they dredged. But sadly, that's not where this story will end. A quiver of arrows into his coffin they wedged. Hassan lacked courage is what they allege. So we remind them of Jamal so they never forget that in the heart of Hassan, the word courage is etched. Courage is etched, and within the fabric of Islam, Mujtaba's name is meshed. Now there lies a body that gave and gave, dormant the heart that loved scholars and slaves. Take my hand and show me his grave. Show me the gold. Show me the dome. Others lie next to his grandfather, they've made it their home. One of their daughters comes out, on a donkey she rode. A simple request she opposed, from a man who angels adorned, from whom you need ask once and never more. So this is for the one who was oppressed before his death and forevermore. Legacy. Qasim. You heard Hussein's sermons and wished to fight, but your uncle didn't burden you. You were the image of his brother, that's the certain truth. And he wasn't ready to be losing you until you gave him a letter and he saw you were purposeful. The tent opened and the curtain drew, and each person thought, has Hassan returned as a turbaned youth? You fought like your father, but they couldn't handle that. They came at you, but you battled back. And only when you turned your back to them to fix your sandal strap did they come attack. First on foot, then on saddleback. The horses came forth and trampled back, causing a scramble that left you with tangled limbs and a mangled back. Isn't it funny how something that causes so much pain also tastes like honey? And isn't it funny how they started a fire that burnt tents but ignited hearts? Coronary works of art. We Shia have been set far apart from our ordinary counterparts. Our minds ablaze, alams raised, love Hassan always. They'll oppress us, but we are free. Suppress us, but we're like the sea. Bury us, but we are seeds. Wait, let me repeat so you can see that we are free just like the breeze, strong and vast just like the sea. Planted, not buried, as if we are seeds, and we'll grow into trees. Shoots, leaves, fruits, reaped, roots, deep. You can't shake us. We are Hassani. You can't break us. So wake up. This is our Islam, and this is our Imam, and he saved us. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Standing ovation. Written only today. And you get a standing ovation from the audience and the judges. How do you feel?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Inshallah you impressed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which was the main aim.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
No problem at all.
I think I've done quite well. Got a standing ovation, alhamdulillah. So I think that's a good sign.
Well, I'm sure Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is impressed, and on my part, that was absolutely outstanding. I purposely chose a very difficult topic because there are many who remember Imam Ali alayhi salam and they remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam, but they've forgotten Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Hassan alayhi salam madloom, he's oppressed. He's oppressed, and you were able within 5 minutes to provide us with a structure of the biography of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. Wonderful structure. Some of the points you brought out were absolutely brilliant. You highlighted the trials that Imam al-Hassan, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam went through at a very young age. They were only 8 and 7 when their mother died. Many people forget this, that they were orphans at a very young age. You also highlighted the strength of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. There are many people who perceive Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam as very strong, brave, and Imam al-Hassan, they say, well, yeah, when it came to what you discussed, you highlighted something very important, and that is that Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, when the going got tough, and the Battle of Jamal, Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam had a monumental role on that day. And you made that clear for everyone to understand that, look, Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam is not just someone who discusses a peace treaty with Muawiyah. On the other hand, he's someone whose legacy was there in the wars alongside his father. There are speakers who have studied for years who have not elaborated on Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam the way you elaborated on Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. And you done something fantastic. What was it? You ended the poem by going to Karbala. Normally a person ends a lecture by going to Karbala. And the fact that I had given you the topic of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, and that you still made sure that we did not forget the legacy of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, that were his 7 sons at Karbala, and of them, the one who many people will normally hear about, and that is notably Qasim alayhi salam. I think you had a structure that was perfect. If that was a lecture, I'd give you 10 out of 10. You done it in spoken word poetry. You prepared for it within a day on your way here. I can't give you 10 for that. I think you deserve 11 out of 10 for it. Well done. Well done.
Fantastic. That's a fantastic response, Mura Nazar.
Bravo, bravo. Wallahi, what Sayyid Ammar said, really, I mean, nobody talk about Imam al-Hassan. Even me, myself, when I get any invitation to recite about Imam al-Hassan, I can't find in Arabic, I can't find qasida. Even, you know, Mullah Ali, you know, it's very difficult to find even qasida about Imam al-Hassan. He is very, very madloom. What you recited was very beautiful. You talk about history, fiqh, aqaid, tragedy of Karbala, usul al-din, furu' al-din, everything in one poem. It was very beautiful.
Hassan.
MashaAllah, bravo, beautiful.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Mullah Nazar. Sayyid Mason.
I have a lot to say, but I'm going to keep it short. Because Sayyid Ammar already said most of the stuff I was going to say. You hit it bang on when you said you're here to make the only judge happy, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there was so much imagery. I like that you went from Fazail and you went to Masaib. Last time you were here, you were reciting Fazail, but not today. You even showed your expertise in Masaib. And I like how you sectionalized it for the audience so that they could easily digest it. Your hand movements today were a lot better than before. You were stiff earlier. Now it was amazing. I also like that you mentioned, I've never heard the term, well, I've heard it, but nobody really says it from the minbar. We're Hassanis. Usually people say we're Hussainis, right? That was amazing. I liked how you linked Imam Hassan's legacy to Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam. I think you've done phenomenal today. I also wanted to just include, and I'm going really fast just so I say everything within my 1 minute. You make me, I haven't done an English Latmiya yet, English Noha yet, and you make me want to do that now with your poetry.
Right. Okay, yeah. Ahsantum, Sayyid Mason. Brilliant. Sayyid Jalal.
Mohammed, Abbas, Jaffer, beautiful poetry. I appreciate the time that in this time you did this poetry. So there are many positive points our judges they mentioned, but I just mentioned some points because it's for your benefit. Number one, you read poetry as it is a text. It's like a message you are just going to convey to viewers. We want to digest the words. It's not a matter of the second language, the first language. When you say, for example, love, you have to show love. When you say, for example, we share strong, you have to show the strength in the word is strong. And when you say, for example, love Hassan always, you have to show it. Another thing which I have noted here for you, even when it is sad, you have to show your sadness with your voice. You have to work a little bit with your voice. For example, I don't want to mention, I have done poetry in Spanish language. I want to read it just this part for you. You see, I don't say that it's emotional. It's for my country. Aunque no puedo llegarme a la tierra santa de amor, quiero salirme de este mundo y te digo adiós, adiós. What does it say? It says that you want to say goodbye to your country. You say, although I can't reach to my saint country, but I dedicate all of my life to you and I say goodbye, goodbye. So you have to show the emotion with your words. And overall, mashallah, perfect. You were a little bit in a hurry.
And that's a brilliant way to conclude the feedback from the judges. Anything final you want to say to the judges?
No, just thank you to the judges, thank you to the audience. Thank you for the topic. I've got poem Imam Hassan now.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Hassan.
Well, that's the feedback done from the judges. Thank you so much for your time, Mohammed.
Thank you very
Abbas, Jaffer. Best of luck for the next round.
I'm alone, I'm in pain, I want to heal. Well done, Mohammed, mashallah. You put us to tears back here. How do you feel?
Good. Yeah. Good, yeah.
You had a standing ovation.
Yeah, second time.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I don't know, that sounds really arrogant.
So, that was amazing. Just the way that you wrote and you broke it down, especially when you kept on flowing and you stopped and you started using singular words to break away from the actual flow. That is an art.
I was nervous because obviously it's hot off the press. I've just done it, so I could probably refine it more. But alhamdulillah for the reaction.
Well, given that you only had one day and you just wrote it, honestly, that is literally, as I said, I want 11 out of 10. Have you done enough to get through?
I hope so.
Do I not